Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back, subscribe, comment and like my video. So I'll be teaching you guys how to cut an armhole princess dart. The method we'll be using is the same method I use in cutting these outfits I'm showing you guys right in the video. So sit back, relax and enjoy the video. So the first thing I did in this video is to bring my pattern paper, drew that line for my guideline, divide it into two, one part for the front and the other part for the back. Then after that, I now start putting down my measurements. My shoulder divide by 2. That's the first thing I did. I will mark it. Then after that, I will measure my armhole measurement. Bust divide by 6 plus 1 plus 1.5. This measurement works for everyone. It works perfectly well for everyone. Then after that, so that I'll be able to get a straight line, I will come down on here and mark my shoulder measurements again. And then measure my armhole measurements right there again. Then after that, guys, I will connect the points together with my straight ruler. I will connect the points together. Then after that, I will come down by 1.5 inch for my shoulder slope, my 1.5 inches for my shoulder slope. You know our shoulder is not straight. Then after that, I will mark my neck line. I will be using 3 inches. I might still alterate it later, but for now, let's use 3. I will connect it to my shoulder slope. Then after connecting it, I will then get the midpoint of the remaining part of my armhole. I will divide it into 2 to get the midpoint. Then after doing that, guys, I will come in from there. I will come in by 0.7 inches, 0.75. 0.75. I will just come in, connect it to the shoulder slope. Then after that, guys, we will now measure our vertical measurement. So I will put down my under the bust measurement. Then after that, I will put down my waistline measurement. Then I will do it again so that we will be able to get a straight line. I will do it again. Essence of doing this is just to get a straight line. Then after that, I will connect it. Then after doing that, guys, I will then measure my nipple line. For my nipple line, I like coming down by 1.5 inch from my armhole line. That is, I will come down 1.5 inch from that point. I will mark it out. This works perfectly well for everyone. If the person is too busty, you can use 2 inches, but 1.5 works well for everyone. So later I will connect the 2 points together for we to get a straight line. Then after doing that, I will measure my nipple to nipple. For my nipple to nipple, I like using bust divide by 6 plus 1 plus 1.5. Sorry, bust divide by 6 plus 1.5. For my nipple to nipple, I use the bust divide by 6 plus 1.5. Then I will connect it. Then after doing that, guys, I will divide my bust by 4 and mark whatever I got on that point. Then I will use my French curve and connect it to my midpoint. My midpoint, I'll connect the 2 points together with the very curvy part of my French curve. And after that, my neckline will be 3 by 3, so I'll just mark the 3 there and connect it to with my French curve. Then after doing that, guys, I'll go back to my waist, divide my waist by 4, mark it out there. Then you take in my darts. For my darts, I'll be using 0.5 from both sides. 0.5 as I'm marking right there. I will use 0.5 this side and 0.5 the other side, which will give me 1. So that 1, I will add it back to my waist measurement so that we will not run into shortage after cutting our drafting. Then after that, I will connect it. I will connect my waist and my bust line together. So I'll be using biro to connect it because I'll still redraft, do little alteration on it again. Then after that, I'll come down by 1.5 inches on from my nipple line. I'll come down by 1.5 inches, then connect it to my waist line for my dart intake. The essence of coming down by 1.5 is just for our cup to enter into for our bust to enter into the cup very well so that it will sit perfectly well into the cup. So after doing that, I will measure my under the bust. My under the bust divide by 4. I will mark it right there on my bust, under the bust line. Then after that, I will then measure the difference between that point and this line. I will measure the difference between the remaining. I will just measure it. The essence of doing this is to get our under the bust tightening. So whatever I got, I will share it among them, mark ½ inch there, and then come here and mark the remaining one. For this particular video, I use 1.25 inches this side and ½ inch the other side. Then after that, I will use my French curve and connect it. From that 1.5 I came down with, I will connect it. Make sure you place your French curve very well because this is the beauty of your bustier. I will connect it and connect the other side as well. So after doing that, I will use the straight part of the French curve and connect it back to the waistline. I will connect it, then come to the other side. For this side, I will first of all come out by 0.25. The essence of coming out here is to avoid flaying up. To avoid, sometimes after making your outfit, is like it flays up there, so you just measure this 0.25 to avoid that. Then after that, I will add that 0.25. I will add it back so that we will not run into shortage. You know those darts are going out, so you have to add it back. Then after that, I will reconnect my line. So this is my main line. Then after that, guys, I will divide my armhole into 2. I've done that already before. I will mark it. I will use my French curve and connect it. But before I do that, I will measure my shoulder. I will divide my shoulder by 2. My shoulder slope, I will divide it by 2. And then use my straight ruler to connect it to my nipple point. I will connect it to my nipple point. Then after doing that, guys, from my nipple point, I will come up by another 1.5 inches. Then after that, guys, I will connect it to my armhole with my French curve. We will not use the very curvy part. You will just set it in a way to connect the two lines perfectly well. Then after that, I will come down by 1.5 inch. From there, I will come down and mark my 1.5 inches. Then use my French curve and connect it. While connecting this one, make sure you extend the line a little bit as I did on this video. Then after that, guys, I will then measure the first line I drew. I will measure it. I just want to be sure that the two lines are equal. They are not always equal, so you will make sure that it's equal. So whatever I got on the first line, I will use it and measure the second line. So this is it. So after marking it, you will connect that point you connect it back to your bust. So that's the main place we'll be cutting right here, right there. That's the main place we'll be cutting. Then we'll measure our bust dart. For my bust dart, we will be using front length minus back length. We know our front and our back are not the same. So for this one, we will be using front length minus back length. Whatever the difference is, we will just mark it right there and then connect it back to our nipple point with our straight ruler. So I'm using the straight part of my French curve. Then after doing that, guys, I'm marking what I'm trying to shade right there is where we will cut. So those places I'm shading are going out. Those are my darts and they are going out. So that's the essence of always add back your darts. Always add it back so that you will not run into shortage. So all of them are going out. So after doing this, guys, your princess dart is ready. So you will cut. Isn't it beautiful? Simple, very simple. Just try out this method, you will enjoy it. And with this method, the clients will be able to wear her princess dart without bra. They will wear it without bra. So guys, after that, after cutting, I will then close my bust dart. So for me to close it, I will just make sure that the two lines matches. I'll first of all fold the first line, then match it up with the second line. That is my main bust line. I will match it up there. They are not gonna overlap each other. The first one will just be on the second line as I'm doing right there in the video. Then after doing that, I will use my masking tape and hold it together so that it's not gonna open again. Guys, try out this method and tell me how it is. Just try it out, give it a trial. So after that, I will just use my masking tape and hold it. As you can see, we have a shortage right there. So I will just bring a piece of paper. I'll bring a piece of paper there and use it and cover our shortage. I will use my masking tape and hold the piece of paper together with my main paper. I will hold the two together, then use my ruler and redraw the line. I will redraw the line. Yeah, as I'm doing right there in the video. So after doing that, guys, I will use my scissors and cut it out. So I will cut it out. Then after cutting it out, I will notch the nipple point. Always notch your nipple point. It will help you while joining your outfit. So I will do the same for the center front. So this is it, my center front. Then later I will go over to the back. So I will be using this part of the drafting pattern paper to draft my back. So the first thing I did was to measure my back length. You already know that our front and our back are not the same. because of the bust. You can only make it the same if you are not cutting a bustier. But if you are cutting a bustier, please, they are not the same, or a corset, or maybe a corset and all, anything bustier, they are not the same. So later I will connect the two lines together. Then after doing that, guys, I will take take in my I will take in 1 inch from the edge. I will measure 1 inch. The essence of doing this is to avoid zip bulging. You know, our back, middle of our back is slopey. So after doing that, I'll come down by 5 inches, and then from there I will connect it with my straight ruler to the 1 inch I measured on the waistline. You can use 0.75, you can use 0.5, it all depends on you, but I want to use 1 inch. So after that, guys, I will then go over to the top and measure my shoulder measurement, divide by 2. I will mark it right there. And then for my armhole, I will still do my shoulder, my bust divide by 6 plus 1 plus 1.5. I will still use the same method I used for the front, and then I will measure it again to get a straight line. I will still remeasure it, and then I'll come here, bring down my shoulder measurement, divide by 2. I will start from the line I drew, not from the edge of the fabric. It will start from that line I drew. Then after that, I'll connect the points together. I will connect the points together. So I will connect the points together. After connecting the points together, guys, I'm just trying to keep adjust the ruler very well. Then after that, guys, I will then measure my bust divide by 4. I will mark it right there. Bust divide by 4. Then after that, I will come down by 1 inch. Remember, we use 1.5 inches for the front, so we'll use 1 inch for the back. Then from there, I will measure my neckline. My neckline is, I'll be using 3. I use 3 for the front, so I will use the same 3 for the back. And then for my neck depth, I will use 1 inch for the back. And then I will connect my shoulder. I will connect the 2 points together. So this is now my shoulder slope. Then after that, I will divide the remaining part of my armhole. I will divide it into 2 to get the midpoint. So from that midpoint, I will come in by 1/2 inch. That is 0.5. Then I will connect it to my shoulder slope with my straight ruler. Then after doing that, I will use my French curve and connect it to my bust. So this is my armhole right there. Then after that, I will connect my neckline. Mind you, we didn't put zipper allowance, so after drafting, while putting it on your paper, you can measure your zipper allowance. So after that, from that edge, we will measure our nipple to nipple line. We will measure it. Mine is 4. I will just mark it then taking my dart, I will be using 1/2 inch on both sides. I just marked it. Then after that, I will come up again and then still measure my nipple to nipple measurement from the very edge of this pattern paper. I will measure my 4, not from the line I drew. So after that, I will use my ruler and connect it. I will use my straight ruler and connect it. Then after doing that, guys, I want to extend my armhole line. So I'm trying to measure it and extend the line. Then after doing that, guys, I will then use my ruler and connect this. I will connect this line as I'm doing right there, so for my dart intake. So after doing that, guys, I will go over to my waist. Do my waist divide by 4. Whatever I got, I will measure it out. I will start, my measurement will start from that 1 inch I came in with. That's where my measurement will start. So I will mark it. Then after that, that 1 inch I took in for my dart, I will still add it back to avoid shortage. Then after that, I will reconnect it back to my bust line. Then after that, guys, I will still divide my armhole by 2. We've done that already. I will divide it by 2. Then use my French curve, connect it. But before I do that, yeah, I will connect it like this with my French curve. You know, there is no, we are not gonna put that on this armhole like the way we did at the front. So after that, guys, I didn't know that my video stopped, so I have to redo this part. So these places I'm marking are where we will cut out. Those places are going out. That's our dart is going out. Then after that, I will cut. Guys, try this method and tell me how it is. So later I'll just cut everything out. So after doing that, this is my back. This is my back. And this is my front. This is my back. And this is my front. You can see how neat it is, guys, and beautiful. While using this method, after sewing your outfit, the person will be able to wear it without bra. So that part will be on fold while cutting on your fabric, and then you will add half inch all through, half inch all through. You can retrace your neckline half inch all through your back side, then 1.25 inches for your shaping allowance, 1.5 for 2 inches. How you will put your zipper allowance here, put your half inch all through. Then for this side, you will put your half inch and then put your 1.5 or 2 inches for your shaping allowance. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.